Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see, I am back in New York City and it's been a few days that I've been trying to adjust to city life. I think it's just there's so much that happens when you move from East Coast to West Coast or West Coast back to East Coast, and also just like city to suburb, suburb to city. I mean, because New York is such urban and like LA is like so spread out, it's so different to get used to, and I feel like I have been just adjusting, and I thought I was gonna do a haul and like skincare haul actually, but I think since I am in this adjusting period, I thought I could do a video about jet lag, because I think someone was probably going through that or might be going through that. It's something that some of the tips that I would want to share with you guys that I think would be helpful, or just my thoughts, that like my experience so far, so you guys can learn about it. Okay guys, so let's start. I did do research, so it wasn't like I just made this up. I'm gonna start with the obvious one. I don't know which, like, do you like to this is awkward. Like, I don't know if there's like what is it, like order, but I just kind of start with like, I don't know, like one by one, because I think each kind of relates to one another, but I don't know which one to start first. So I guess the first one I would start is like when you first land, like when you land and try to, depend on what time you land. So I would say first thing for me that made a big difference, and I started doing that in this trip, and that was very helpful, is the taking a red eye. I think a lot of people think that that's a bad idea, but I think it's actually very helpful, especially because like for international flights, or just like the places that you don't want to miss out so much, but you also still want to be not super tired and get some sleep and like kind of get on your day without losing any sleep. So I was thinking having a red eye kind of helps you with that, because like it's kind of like your bedtime anyway, so you just go to bed. I mean, although it's not like as comfortable unless you're in the first class, which most of are not. So you kind of, yes, it's not a comfortable place, but like you do get to sleep in, and they give you a blanket, so like it's very convenient for you to just pass out at that moment. And when you wake up, like for me, the time I was going to LA actually, because I left New York like at night, and I was in LA like pretty much at night too, so I kind of like get to sleep and like I could start my day, so it was not bad at all. And same coming back here, I actually took the flight at night in LA, and when I was here it was like 8 or 9 a.m, which was just perfect, because I was kind of like, I slept kind of, and I kind of got to start my day, and I could just sleep that day and it would be fine. So I think that is something to consider, taking a red eye, so you get to sleep and like not even like, because also you don't get bored during the flight, because I feel like when you sleep, and a lot of people I know there have problems with sleeping, so if you do this time of the day, you kind of like, it's natural for you to sleep your body, and you don't have to spend so much time on your computer or in your phone, listen to music for 6 hours, or watch 3 movies in a row. So it is very convenient for you to do that. So that is my first tip that I would say doing it. Okay, so the second thing I would want to say, so when you land in after the process, I would say definitely be active during that day, like go outside, go to gym, maybe work out or like run. I think that is something that helps a lot, was just like get your body going, and also that day you can, again, sleep very fast and easily and get some rest. That is the second thing I would want to recommend. Another thing I want to say, that's kind of connected with the like being active, but not like being active. So after you being active, and I feel like also if you lost some sleep during that day, you should definitely take power naps or just nap, but don't take too long naps, because I feel like what happens is a lot of people is like, especially when we're tired, we do take long naps, and like when you wake up, depending on what time you take the nap, you feel even extra tired. So don't try to take too long naps, but like even having an hour or like 20 minutes nap, that really helps a lot. But try not to take them towards close to the time that you are about to sleep, or a few hours before. That's just not helpful, and you will not be able to sleep at night. So I would totally recommend just having a few naps and during the day, so that helps you a lot with just getting back to your own routine. That is something that like helped me a lot, especially when I first got in New York, because my flight was delayed. So I actually got here like around noon, and I kind of like slept for an hour, and I was ready to go and meet some friends. Okay, so this is something that I have seen people saying it, and I also saw a couple videos people were saying it, and I feel like now like hearing it, it just makes so much sense. They say West is the best and the East is the beast, and I feel like this is so true, because living in East Coast and going back to West Coast, that kind of is like, because you go that they're like 3 hours behind, so you're kind of like, oh, okay, I'm early, like I can do this, I can do that, like you kind of get used to it. But when you come to East Coast, then you're like, oh my god, I'm so behind on everything. It's like time is just flying. So that is crazy to think about, but it is the truth, because I remember when I was in LA, waking up at like 7 a.m. or something. I was like, wow, I never wake up at 7 a.m. unless like I really have to, or I have a photo shoot that something's scheduled, I really have to force myself to get up. But my body doesn't generally get up at 7 a.m. Like, let's be real, it just does not happen. So but you know, I was like, oh my god, I'm a morning person in LA. But like going back to New York City, just like, oh, 10 a.m. 11 a.m, you know, you're kind of like, oh my god, like what happened to me? So you do feel unproductive. But I'm just saying that that's just thing that kind of takes time. I don't want you guys like saying like, oh my god, East Coast like the worst with that time frame. But like I'm just saying like that, like that's what happens. So that's why they say like traveling from East Coast to the West Coast, it's so much easier to adjust, because your body only takes like I think 60 or 90. I mean, probably like I think they say like an hour or maybe like in the entire day to like just adjust the whole thing. Now that I'm saying it doesn't make sense. I meant to say like a day to adjust. Your body just takes a day to adjust to that time. But when you travel from West Coast to the East Coast, it actually takes like 3, 4, 5 days. Oh my god, why am I saying 3, 4, 5 days? 3 to 5 days to just adjust to, you know, where you are right now. Okay, my last tip, which is something that kind of connects to this too, but I feel like it psychologically affects you a lot and your body or just like your whole mood. Don't look back at your time and you're thinking like, oh my god, it is this time at that place, because remember, you're not at that place anymore. I know but especially when you travel for so long and like, or when you've been at that place for so long and you come back, you keep thinking about that place, but like you shouldn't think about that time though. You can think about that place, but just don't think about that time, because that is just not the place you're at right now. Like, it just not help you at all. So it makes you even like less productive, and like you don't do anything. You're like, oh my god, no, that's not it. Because like when I was here, like when I'm here, just I kept looking at the time. I was like, oh, in LA it's like 7 a.m. or like 9 a.m. so I have time. Like, but it's like noon in here. It's like, no, you should be moving. So definitely don't look back at that time, because you're not there anymore. So you should totally move forwards, which you are there right now. So I know it's very easy to say, but like then get used to, but that is just one habit that I would say like don't do it, and it will just be, you know, your body slowly will adjust to it. So these are some of the things that I gathered and I thought it would be helpful for you guys to remember, just like some of the tips for you guys to take into consideration for next time when you're traveling, especially going back and forth between West and East Coast. So that is something to think about. Yeah, other than that, that is going to be it for today. I hope you guys like this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on Friday.